Welcome. In this video, I'll show you how CompliANZ uses AI-assisted document processing to extract information from documents and validate it against configurable business rules. CompliANZ is a cross-industry AI document intelligence and compliance platform that can be applied wherever organizations need to extract, structure, and validate information from documents. It can be used across finance, insurance, healthcare, logistics, manufacturing, government, legal, and many other industries. For this demonstration, we will use a letter of credit workflow from the trade finance domain. This is a high-complexity, compliance-driven use case that helps demonstrate the capabilities of the platform. However, the same approach applies to any document type in any industry. Before we go hands-on, let's look at the business challenge. Across industries, organizations still rely heavily on manual document processing and manual compliance checks. Teams extract information manually from PDFs, scanned documents, and images, then enter it into systems and validate it using checklists, spreadsheets, or domain expertise. Whether it is invoices in finance, patient forms in healthcare, shipment documents in logistics, or regulatory forms in government, this process is slow, costly, error-prone, and difficult to scale. In trade finance, the challenge is even more complex. Letter of credit documents must be verified against LC terms, customer requirements, internal banking policies, and global trade finance standards such as the UCP 600 framework. This requires specialist knowledge and significant manual effort. CompliANZ solves this by automatically converting documents into structured data and validating the data against configurable business rules. In a real letter of credit customer use case, CompliANZ helps significantly reduce the time required for document review and compliance checking. Compared with manual inspection, the process was completed around 6 to 7 times faster, allowing users to review LC documents more quickly, reduce repetitive checking effort, and focus more on exception handling and decision-making. The most important capability of CompliANZ is that business users can configure the entire platform using plain English instructions. Business users do not need to be developers, technical experts, or system integrators. They can define what data to extract, how to validate it, what external systems to connect to, and how results should be structured, all using natural language. The platform uses AI to interpret these instructions and execute them automatically. Once a template is created, it can be reused across large volumes of similar documents, helping organizations reduce manual effort, improve accuracy, ensure consistency, and accelerate compliance processes. The structured output can then be downloaded, integrated with internal systems such as ERP platforms, or shared with external applications through configurable integration. With that in mind, let's walk through the workflow. On this screen, you can choose how to create a template. You can use annotation-based setup, where you manually mark fields on the document, or the scan-based approach, which is faster and used in this demo. Next, you upload a document in PDF or image format. The file can be typed or handwritten. You can drag and drop the file or select it from your device. Once uploaded, the document is displayed on the screen. Now we define the fields that need to be extracted from the document. To add a field, click Add Field. Then enter field names and select their types. Once all required fields are defined, click Process Document. Within seconds, the extracted information is displayed in a structured table using the defined field labels. We then save this configuration as a reusable template. Next, we configure validation rules. Here, we select the template and define a rule set name. For each rule, we select the field and describe the validation requirement in plain English. This is one of the core strengths of CompliANZ. Business users can define complex validation logic using natural language, without writing code or relying on technical teams. The platform interprets these rules using AI and executes them during processing. For example, business users can define rules such as, proforma invoice number in the LC must match the invoice number and date in the ERP reference record. Shipment date must comply with the required number of calendar days from the LC issue date. Invoice currency must match the LC currency. Quantity shipped must not exceed the approved quantity. These validations can be based on internal business policies, customer-specific requirements, industry regulations, external system data, or global standards such as the UCP 600 framework. Business users can also define, in plain English, how validation results should be structured and displayed. This allows organizations to adapt the system to their business needs without software development effort. CompliANZ also supports external system validation. Documents can be validated against ERP systems, banking systems, logistics platforms, customer databases, or third-party APIs. To enable this, we simply select a connector and describe the validation requirement in plain English. For example, the system can verify whether the customer exists in the ERP system, the LC amount matches the banking system record, the shipment details match logistics data, and the beneficiary matches the master data records. Now let's configure a connector. We go to Configure Integrations and create a new connector. We define the connector name, description, and operation type. Under Request Settings, we configure the API method, endpoint URL, headers, and authentication. We then define LLM prompt templates. The request prompt defines how data is prepared before sending, and the response prompt defines how returned data is structured and interpreted. So let's continue. Once saved, we return to the validation rules and complete configuration. After saving the rule template, we return to document processing. Now we can upload multiple documents with the same structure. We can upload files individually or use a zip file for batch processing. Once uploaded, we click Process Documents. The system processes all documents and displays structured outputs in a table. We can export results as CSV or JSON. Next, we validate the documents. CompliANZ evaluates extracted data against configured rules, external system checks, and compliance logic. Results are displayed in a structured format. We can export validation results as PDF or image files. Even if someone is away from their laptop, they can still use the compliance process from a mobile device. They can select the template they want to proceed with, take a photo of the document, attach it, process the document, validate it, and view the results. As you can see, CompliANZ is much more than a document extraction tool. It is a cross-industry AI-powered document intelligence and compliance platform that enables business users to configure extraction, validation, integrations, and output formats using plain English instructions. Whether you are processing invoices, healthcare forms, logistics documents, government records, or letters of credit under the UCP 600 framework, CompliANZ helps organizations reduce manual effort, improve accuracy, accelerate compliance, and adapt quickly to changing business requirements. Now it's your turn to experience how CompliANZ can be tailored to your organization without requiring technical expertise.